I'm Joe Boucher. I'm an attorney at Matter & Boucher in Madison, a business attorney.
Nate Dosch. I am a tax manager with Grant Thornton in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Up till this week was with Joe at Matter & Boucher here in Madison.
Yeah. And we're talking about digital assets, and I'm going to give you 2 or 3 reasons why lawyers should care. First of all, they should care because they themselves have digital assets, whether it be online photographs. You used to have these photo albums that are now online, or they have other content online. They've done saved documents in the cloud or other places. So they should care for themselves because they have assets that they need access to. But more importantly, they ought to care because their clients will have such assets, and they need to apprise their clients of those assets. And we're talking specifically here more about the estate process, the estate planning process. It's also true as a business attorney, because our clients, when they buy businesses and things, have to be concerned about these assets. But specifically now, if we're talking about estate planning, there are all kinds of assets their clients have that they need to make their clients aware of. What they are, keeping track of them, and then, importantly, how to access those assets when they pass away, and how to transfer them to somebody. So a lawyer should care because they need to adequately educate their clients and because they want to serve their clients better. So that's why lawyers should care.
Right. And from a client's perspective, when you're preparing or starting to implement the estate plan, you're traditionally you have your checklist of different items. You have your bank accounts, your financial institutions, real property, tangible personal property, retirement accounts, things like that. Those all hit what is pretty commonly referred to as an estate planning questionnaire. Mostly we don't have any area to input digital assets. And we might often be confronted with, from a client perspective, kind of a who cares? Why should I care about this? And the reason I think that they've reached that conclusion is they're not informed, they're not educated on it. So that's point A for me as an estate planning attorney on showing my client why it is important. Just the simple fact that all of these things, family heirlooms, love letters between spouses, now take a digital form. And those are the items that, believe it or not, that families seem to care the most about in a lot of cases. So it's showing them just what their digital footprint is. And that's almost conclusive enough to get people motivated to do it. Secondarily, the second step in the process isn't just the awareness and defining the asset, but it's getting them started on the inventory, getting them to take out even a piece of paper and put down, okay, what email accounts do I have? What social networking sites do I belong to? Do I blog? Do I have a website? Who is my domain name registered with? What credit card statements do I access online? Things like that. And going through the process of memorializing that in a form that's accessible to clients. A lot of times we forget about some assets like our BlackBerries, for instance. What if those are password protected? How about voicemail? Our computer itself has a password on it. So it's going through and inventorying all of those things. And it, as you go through this checklist, something clicks in a client's mind and says, this isn't my lawyer just trying to generate something to do. This is a real concern that I need to address. And ultimately, it's figuring out a way to get those assets to who they want those assets to go to. That's estate planning in a nutshell, isn't it? It's figuring out who should be in charge, the personal representative, digital executor, potentially. You might want to pick somebody that's more apt and just better at accessing things, and then figuring out who the beneficiaries are.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same as it's always been. The only difference is there are digital assets now that heretofore didn't exist that need to be covered.
Yep. Step 3 is the same. Steps 1 and 2 are the unique parts of the puzzle.
Right.